Hi, this is Tony at Cover, and I'm speaking to Graham Harvey from Cardinal. And this is, I think, the third or the fourth in a series of discussions with you, Graham. So
Yes.
thank you very much for taking time again to talk to me.
Thanks very much, Tony. I hope it's not becoming too boring.
No, it's always nice to unpack things bit by bit. And today's topic, again, is quite an interesting one. I remember when I came into the industry in the 90s, when somebody spoke about business analyst, nobody knew what it was, not even me. I had to
Yes.
find out what does a business analyst actually do? And this has evolved quite massively over the years, and especially with tools that's available now, the technology, it's not just
Mm,
Excel anymore and all of that stuff. So I think maybe your latest initiative is venturing into business intelligence.
mm.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about the deal and where you think this is going.
Yeah, sure, Tony. As IT in those days as well was a department that didn't really get airtime in the boardroom. It's now become front and center, and every business is a technology business. And by the way, what do you do?
Mm.
I guess if you've got the best avocados, you don't have the best avocado tree. You have the best technology from the moment you're picking the avo or growing it all the way through to getting it on the shelf in the shop. Certainly, technology getting front and center inside any insurance business is no different. We were very much a standalone system of record, a policy admin system that does policy and claims and everything. And then we realized that we needed to actually become more of an ecosystem of products and services to our clients as their changing needs from being a standalone insurance organization to more of a part of an ecosystem. Likewise, we needed an ecosystem of technology. So, like we acquired a stake in CliQ, which is a very important piece of our service provider management for the insurance industry. We started working with another crowd and one of our key development partners at the time, Galileo Risk, who's become part of the Efficient Group. They helped us to work with a business intelligence specialist who knew how to take the data and actually start making use of that data and visualizing and enabling decision making and using that data and using various BI tools like CliQ, Power BI. So we worked with them over the last, I would say, 8 years, and we always had an arrangement with them where we would get them work and they would make our software look good and add another node of value to our offerings. In working with them, we obviously just grew to really enjoy working with them and also realizing an increasing importance around the flexibility of using the BI tool for reporting as well as data analysis. And all these buzzwords like AI coming into the fold, all these business intelligence solutions are certainly working with data in that way in a far more better way than we were working in our back-end insurance administration system. So yeah, the marriage formed about 8 years ago as a working partnership, and it's become such a critical part of our offering now that we realize the importance of taking a stake in that business. So we've taken a controlling stake to ensure that our roadmap and the roadmap of that business intelligence company is aligned for a common client. And we obviously have a client base that we can then take that solution to and take our learnings and our value and distribute it across that client base so they can enjoy the same rewards. And then obviously in growing our ecosystem with the likes of CodePlex, which has got very powerful service provider management and claims management data, we can then use that business intelligence company again to go and take that data and start enabling more business intelligence on top of that. So it's about that business becoming part of the group and offering its services to our wider group of insurance technology businesses.
That's brilliant. Yeah, as you say, it's just adding to that ecosystem
Mm. Mm.
of what you can offer, because that would definitely be a need with your existing customers and future customers.
And I think it's also a tough one. We do work with other technology companies, no disrespect to any of them. It's tough trying to get two tech businesses to align their priorities for the common interest of one
Mm.
common client. And it's everyone's got different priorities and different timelines and different deliverables at different dates. And to align all of that is very difficult and often becomes a finger pointing exercise. So
Mm.
this way we get to sit at the roadmap of both businesses, which is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to take a sort of a step or two back, Graham, in terms of business intelligence, I have many discussions about data at the moment, as you would know, and the importance of data and what to do with it, how to manage it, what to get from it for your business, etc. So if you look at business intelligence as a sort of a subject, where does it fit in sort of the environments of, let's say, a chief information officer and
Mhm.
as somebody who actually manages data in the business, etc.? Who takes the responsibility for this business intelligence process?
So that's an interesting one because obviously the need of the business will come from the different business departments who need to make decisions around it. From the data management side, the data management's more about the tools that are used and the processes that are used to go and collect the data and how you're going to use the data efficiently in a secure environment, the quality of the data, the governance, the architecture, and your data modeling, so to speak, and data integration as well. That's more around the data management side, which would sit in the chief information officer or the CTO's area inside the business. But then, as far as the business intelligence side of that is concerned, this is more about how you're going to interpret that data, putting tools to analyze the data that will support decision making. And that's where it's important to bring the business side into the actual discussion with not just data management, but the actual business intelligence. How do you convert the data into actionable insights through reporting, analysis, and visualization of that data? So that's the business intelligence side that actually supports that data management side.
So would that be a sort of a, and I don't want to be condescending to people who are now in business analysts, but is that sort of an upgrade for a business analyst to have business intelligence in their portfolio as well, or does it not sit there?
Yes, I don't see why not. A business analyst is typically going in and trying to understand what the business is trying to achieve and unpacking the processes and gathering the requirements. I suppose business intelligence would assist some of their work that they would do, but it would also be complementary to the end result of the work that they do. So I don't see why it wouldn't be a good skill to have. There's a lot of data science academies that have now been sprung up, and a data science is a very new buzzword and something that people are definitely sought after. These businesses are all sitting on top of so much amazing data, and they haven't really been making decisions based on the underlying data necessarily. They've just been changing processes and trying to find unique selling propositions, but they're not actually making decisions based on that underlying data necessarily.
Mm. And I suppose this is where the tools come in, because the better the tools are that you have to be able to do that,
Mm,
the more you're going to venture into trying to make decisions based on
mm.
it and find conclusions as to why something doesn't work or what will work better or etc. How do you bring that into your existing ecosystem then?
Tony, you can obviously go and code a visual representation of the data and have queries on the data to try and return results, then try and do that from scratch, which is really trying to be a jack of all trades. We'd rather stick to what we do, which is insurance enterprise systems. And then we rather use what is called a business intelligence tool. I'm sure you may have heard of Power BI. That's Microsoft's business intelligence tool. I'm sure you've heard of CliQ. ClickView is part of the Click stable. That's now been upgraded more recently, which is part of our upgrade to ClickSense, which is more of a web-based cloud enterprise version, which handles data across multiple countries, across single licenses because of data protection and GDPR and POPI information. So these tools are very powerful at managing large sets of data. And also what we typically find inside an insurance organization is that not all the data resides in one database or in one place. And especially with the cloud enabled capability now, you've got to be able to pull data from multiple sources. And then you can use some of the tools that are by default available through the cloud microservice APIs to actually make sense of that data, and anything from voice analysis, sentiment, and video and photograph recognition. And these things are learning the data all the time. So it's a combination of tools you're using, but generally speaking, these business intelligence tools are very powerful at helping you to quickly spin up models. Once you've got all the data balancing, it's also much quicker to be able to do reporting and involving more and more players within in an organization to have access to the data, access to the results of what the business intelligence team is speeding up. but they know how to do responsive design on phones and feed mobile apps and have automatic alerts, and all that comes as standard of a BI tool. So it's about getting your data into a good BI tool. And obviously on the Gartner chart and various players that needed certain functionality, but I will say Click Stable has possibly been the biggest leader in the space for a very long time. Power BI is just popular because a lot of Microsoft endorsed entities, but they all pretty much do the same thing, you know.
Okay. And you partly answered my next question that I wanted to ask, but that's just in terms of how do you envisage or how do you see your role now in the future of BI in the insurance industry? Do you let's go with when you're marketing your product, when you're discussing your product?
Yes.
Is it and sort of an add-on to this, or do you leave it as a separate?
So, Tony, we'd like to come out with some bog standard, which was, lack of the better description, some bog standard functionality that you typically expect. And we would obviously build that and make it available to our clients. But then we also like to have the specialist skill option. So we're about combining best of breeds. We don't want to try and do the BI ourselves and do the enterprise system ourselves and do the service provider system. We need specialists to make up our ecosystem. And if we can bring those best of breeds together to work together, then we'll have the best ecosystem ultimately, if you make it up of best of breeds. So we certainly would like to keep focusing on the data that we have that is really at the foundation level. If you've got control of the policy information and the finance information and the claims information at the lowest level, then you really have access to very proprietary, sticky data. So to build a solution on top of that would be extremely powerful. Our intent is obviously to continue to build up our deep domain knowledge of insurance rather than have our clients pull in a BI company that can sell a wonderful BI tool, but they don't know what an endorsement is. They don't know what a midterm adjustment is. They don't know what a rating increase is or a renewal or a monthly policy or a reinsurance placement or earned versus unearned loss ratio, premiums, all of that. That deep domain knowledge is very important. So we don't necessarily want our BI business to start offering their services to anything and anything like a jack of all trades. We'd like them to very much remain focused in the insurance industry, working off multiple data sets. We may not be the only system inside one of our clients' environments, but our BI company can come in and pull from multiple sources and ultimately present the data in one single view. Some of our clients. So we'd like to offer proprietary services or ad hoc and bespoke work that's specific to somebody's competitive advantage or need. But generally speaking, we will also have our standard models and standard stuff that doesn't have to be redone from the ground up.
Very interesting. Yeah, it sounds exciting. So
thank you.
My sort of parting question, maybe a bit more personal, is somebody somebody obviously who's very interested in technology, etc. And now with all this business intelligence stuff and all the tools, the AI tools, etc., that's available, how do you stay focused and not go down rabbit holes? Okay.
Yeah, I think, Tony, it's all about backing the right players that are leading each of these specialist best of breeds areas that make up our ecosystem. We've got amazing business leaders in each of these, let's call it sister companies to our parent company, and they are very much running their businesses as they were before we even got involved. We just getting involved to try and bring them access to markets and also bring them scalability, as well as maybe some business assistance with trying to become an international world-class operator. So I guess the focus is to stay true to what we're trying to do, but have these different leaders that are still running the same businesses that they've successfully built up anyway. It's just about working more closely together, really, and letting everyone specialize and focus on what they're best at. So I'm not trying to take over all these different businesses and run all of them. I'm very much leading the people who got those businesses to be successful in the same positions. We just give them possibly bigger access to bigger balance sheet and to a bigger set of clients that they can go and provide the expert services to.
Absolutely. Yeah. What a time to be in technology and to in insurance.
Yeah, it's exciting. You can lose your t-shirt very quickly.
Yeah. 100%. Graham, thanks so much.
Thanks, Tony. Always nice talking to you.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much.
Right.
Really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Cool.
Have,
Thanks,
have a
Tony.
good evening.
You
Thanks.
too.
Cheers.